Okay. Signing on a little early to work on the new setup. That looks pretty good. And good afternoon, everyone. It's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Steve Aquilon here. This will be the first stream with the new ring light, which arrived late yesterday afternoon. So hopefully this will bring even more clarity to the cards and the dice, to make it easier to follow along with the game. This is the second game of a doubleheader played on April 23rd, the San Francisco Giants at the Houston Astros. Gaylord Perry, a 21-game winner in '66 on the mound for the Giants. Robin Roberts, at the other end of the spectrum, in the tail end of his career, will be pitching for the Astros. And we'll get to the starting lineups here in just a second. It was my niece who tipped me off to this ring light idea. I had never even heard of them, and still wouldn't have without her, so that was awesome. And at $12.99, the best money I've spent this year. Okay, here's the lineup for the Giants now. Hal Lanier will lead off at second base, followed by Jesus Alou in left field today. Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, in center field. Willie McCovey, the Big Mac, clean up at first base. Jim Ray Hart is at third base. Tom Heller to do the catching. He'll bat sixth. Ollie Brown is in right field for the nightcap. Jim Davenport will play shortstop, so a little bit different there for the Giants, with Perry hitting ninth. For the Astros, the same lineup as Game 1 with the exception of the catcher. It'll be Joe Morgan at second base, followed by Sonny Jackson, the shortstop. Jimmy Wynn is in center field. Jim Gentile in the cleanup spot at first base. Rusty Staub in left field. Bill Nicholson in right. Bob Aspromonte at third base. Bill Heath will do the catching and hit eighth. And Roberts bats ninth. So we're just about ready to get underway here. A little earlier game for me, as I have a doctor's appointment at 3. It's currently 1:02 here in Spokane. I've got a nice cup of tea and we're ready to get underway here. Roberts is ready. Umpire shouts play ball and Hal Lanier steps to the plate. The Astros came back to win a tight Game 1. Game 1 of this doubleheader was yesterday. A 3-2 come from behind win for the Astros. A lot of drama in that one. Hopefully this nightcap will not disappoint. As Roberts gets ready, he gets the sign from Heath. Here's the pitch to Lanier. That's going to be a 2-8 grounder down to shortstop. Jackson has it, throws him out, and we're underway. Here's Alou now. Jesus, a right-handed batter. Robin Roberts into the windup. The pitch to Jesus is a 1-7 fly ball to left field. That's going to be playable for Staub. He's got it, and quickly there are 2 away. I almost think this could come my way a little bit on the tower. Let's try that. Here's the Say Hey Kid now, Willie Mays. 2 down, nobody on. Roberts the windup. The pitch to Willie Mays on a 4-10. Fly to left field, shallow. In comes Staub, still coming on now, and makes the catch to retire the side. So 1, 2, 3 go the Giants in the first. And after a half an inning, it is San Francisco 0, Houston coming to bat. The great Gaylord Perry on the mound today. Hall of Famer, of course, as is Joe Morgan, who will lead things off for the Astros here in the bottom of the inning. Perry gets the sign from Haller. Here's the windup. The pitch to Little Joe is a 2-7. That's a fly ball to center field. Mays drifting over. Easy catch for Mays, and there's 1 down. And here's Sonny Jackson. Jackson, as you know, a left-handed hitting shortstop with a lot of speed. Perry from the windup. Pitch to Jackson, a 3-11. It's a tapper down to third. That's going to be Jim Ray Hart. He's got it and throws him out by a step, and there's 2 away. And here's the toy cannon. Jimmy, 18 homers that year, but a 324 on base and a 440 slugging in real life. Perry, the windup in the pitch, that's a 1-7. That's a double to 6, but Wynn's going to settle for a long single. 1 out single for Jimmy Wynn, an asterisk 15. But Perry with a -3 hole, that drops him down to a 12, so they will not hold him on. And Jim Gentile will be the batter. Gaylord from the stretch now. On a 1-5, base hit into center. That's opened. That's Willie Mays, of course. Mays a -4. Win a 15 to third, 17. A -4, a 13. With 2 down, he's going to hold up. No sense making the third out of the inning at third base when you've got Rusty Staub coming to the plate. So they'll hold him up there, first and second and 2 away. And here's Staub. Perry getting his sign now. Wipe something on the ball. The windup. The pitch to Staub on a 2-7. Grounder to second base. That's Lanier. He's going to go the short way to Davenport. And that will do it. No runs, 2 hits, they leave a pair. And we are scoreless after 1. And hello, Kelly, and welcome. Yeah, I'm an hour early today. I have an appointment at 3, which made a 2 o'clock stream impossible. And we've got the ring light. You'll have to let me know what you think of that. It seems to be better to me. Here's McCovey to lead things off for San Francisco as we move to the top of the second. Roberts, the windup, the pitch to Willie Mack, a 6-12 to the left-hander. Base hit into center field. So a leadoff single for McCovey. He's aboard, and here's Jim Ray Hart. McCovey not held. Roberts from the stretch. The pitch to Jim Ray Hart is a 4-3. That's going to be a grounder to the pitcher X. Roberts a 5E26, so this could be trouble. And here's the play. On a 1, boy, that is going to be trouble. That's a single with a 1 base advance. So a single off of Roberts. McCovey will hold at second. And the Giants are in business here in the second inning. First and second, nobody out. And here's Tom Haller. Roberts from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Tom Haller now, a 2-5. Grounder to first, that's going to be 2. Gentile has it. Down to Jackson, back to first, double play. The old 3-6-3. That's my new way of doing a force play. That's to keep me from blowing it. So we have McCovey at third, 2 down, and here's Ollie Downtown Brown, who I remember from the Padres, of course. Roberts with the delivery. Here's the pitch to Brown on a 1-5. He struck him out. And Roberts gets out of the jam. No runs, 2 hits, a man left. And we are still scoreless as we move along to the bottom of the second. Perry getting ready to work. Nicholson, Aspromonte, and Heath due up for Houston. I'm going to enjoy a little of this tea. All right. Perry's ready to go as Dave Nicholson steps in. Bottom of the second, no score. Here's the windup. The pitch to Nicholson on a 1-11. Swung on and missed strike 3. So Perry fans Nicholson, and here's Aspromonte now. Perry into his windup. Big leg kick, and the pitch to Aspromonte is a 5-5. Swung on and missed strike 3. So 2 Ks for Perry, who settled down considerably since the first inning when he allowed a couple of hits. And here's Bill Heath. Heath, of course, the backup catcher, catching the second game of the twin bill. And here's the pitch from Perry. It's a 1-8, base hit into right. So a 2-out single for Heath. And that'll bring up Roberts. Roberts, a switch hitting pitcher. He'll bat left-handed against Gaylord. And from the stretch, here's his pitch to Roberts, a 3-7, a grounder to second base. Lanier has it, throws him out, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, a man left, and we're scoreless after 2. And if this feels like deja vu from game 1, it does to me as well. Runs at a premium here in the Dome as Robin Roberts gets ready to pitch the third. It'll be Davenport, Perry, and then back to the top of the order, Lanier. Giants come into the game a rather disappointing 6-4. Houston, by contrast, a rather surprising 5-6. Here's Davenport now. Roberts into the windup. The pitch to Jim, a 6-5. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Jackson. He's a 3-40. As he goes into the hole, here's the play. On a 14, he makes the play for the out. So nice play, Sonny Jackson. 6-3X, 1 down, and here's Gaylord Perry. Perry, a right-handed hitter. 3W. Here's the pitch from Roberts on a 4-7. Perry's got himself a base hit up the middle. How about that? A single by Gaylord Perry with 1 down. And here comes Lanier. Hal Lanier batted .231 that year with a .257 on base percentage. And my, how times have changed. He's the leadoff man, remember. And Roberts comes from the stretch now. To Lanier, it's a 6-7, a grounder to second base X. That's Joe Morgan. He's a 3E30. Here's the play on a 5. That's a double play. Ground ball, a fantastic play by Morgan. Diving stop, shovels to Jackson, back to first. Oh my goodness, what a double play. So a 4-6-3X web gem. That ends the inning. No runs a hit, no one left. And we are still scoreless as we move to the bottom of the third. So Roberts, with a rather hefty 4.82 ERA that year, is keeping pace with Gaylord Perry so far. And Houston will send up the top of the order. Morgan, Jackson, and Wynn. Here's Joe Morgan. Perry into his windup. The pitch to Morgan on a 1-9. That's going to be a triple to 2. He'll settle for a long single, and Morgan's aboard with a leadoff single. Morgan an asterisk 15. Perry a -3. However, that drops him to a 12, so there will be no need to hold him on. And Sonny Jackson is going to lay it down. He's an A bunter on a 4. And he beats out the bunt. How about that? On a 4. Holy cow, that play works out perfectly for the Astros. It's a bunt single for Sonny Jackson. Morgan takes second. First and second, nobody out now, and here's the toy cannon. So Perry's in a jam now in the bottom of the third. Perry from the stretch. The pitch to Jimmy Wynn on a 2-6. He walks him to load the bases. Oh my goodness. Jackson down to second, Morgan down to third. And here's Gentile with Staub on deck, and Perry is really in a jam now. They're going to play back this early in the game, hope for a ground ball. Perry from the full windup. The pitch to Gentile on a 6-9. Swung on and missed strike 3. And oh man, was that a big strikeout for Perry. 1 down now. And here's Rusty Staub, still infield back, as Staub steps in from the left side. Perry trying to work his way out of this now. Gets the sign from Haller. Here's the windup. Pitch to Staub on a 6-6. That's a fly to center field. That's going to be deep enough to score a run. Mays makes the catch. Morgan will tag up and score. Everyone else will hold. And that'll be a sac fly with an RBI for Staub. Sacrifice fly, Staub. Morgan tags and scores. 2 down. Runners at first and second, and here's Nicholson. So if Perry can get Nicholson, he can get out of this cheaply enough. And here's the pitch to Nicholson on a 2-9. That's a homer to 3, a deep fly ball to left on a 13. Alou backing up now on the track and makes the catch to retire the side. So he gave it a ride. Got the fans excited a little bit. But the Astros will settle for 1 run on 2 hits. They leave a pair. And after 3 complete, it's Houston 1, San Francisco 0. Robin Roberts loosening now. And it will be Alou, followed by Mays and McCovey for San Francisco. Alou steps in now. Roberts gets the sign from Heath, the windup. Pitch to Alou is a 4-5. Grounder down to first. Gentile has it. He'll take it himself. And there's 1 down. Here comes Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid. Roberts into the windup. Here's the pitch to Willie Mays, a 5-8 fly to center field, medium deep, Wynn backing up a few steps and makes the catch for the out. 2 down, and here's Willie McCovey. McCovey singled his first time up. Roberts into the windup. Pitch to McCovey on a 1-4, high fly ball to deep right field. Forget about it. Nicholson just turns around and watches it go. And that's a home run for Willie McCovey, and this ball game is tied. Willie McCovey, let's look at that again. A 1-4, no doubt about it shot. For Willie, I think that's going to give... That's Willie McCovey's 6th home run of the year, and he takes sole possession of the National League lead in home runs with that blast. There were quite a few tied with 5. But McCovey's the first to number 6. And here's Jim Ray Hart now in a 1-1 ball game. The windup. The pitch. Oh, we got a dice down. It's a foul ball. The next pitch to Hart on a 3-6. Base hit into left field. So Jim Ray Hart aboard with a 2-out single, and Tom Haller will come to the plate now. Haller standing in from the left side. Roberts a glance over at Hart. Hart a modest lead from the stretch. The pitch to Haller. A 5-3 fly to left field X. That's going to be Staub. He's a 3E13. As he drifts towards the line, here's the play. On an 18, he will make the catch for the out. Just barely. A 4 would have blown it. But Staub, a 3, hauls it in 7X. That'll retire the side. The Giants tie it, however, a run on 2 hits. The big home run by McCovey halfway up the seats in right field. A prodigious blast to tie this ball game. And damn indeed, Kelly. Yeah, I don't think when I was a youngster, I would say that McCovey and Stargell, for me, were the most fearsome hitters. I don't mean to say they were the best hitters. They may or may not have been. But those were the guys that got your blood pumping when they walked up to the plate. For me, anyway. Okay, bottom of the 4th we go. It's the bottom of the order for Houston. Aspromonte, Heath, and Robin Roberts. Perry ready to work now. The pitch to Bob is a 4-9, a single to 14. Knocked down by Hart, but he's got no play. That'll be an infield single. And Aspromonte's aboard to lead off the bottom of the inning. No threat to run. And here's Bill Heath, the catcher. He singled his first time up. Perry from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Heath on a 6-10. That's going to be a grounder to first base. That'll be a force play. I'm going to bring my chair up just a little bit because of this new light. So on a force play to first base, that's going to go 3-6. Aspromonte forced, 1 down. And here's Roberts. 1 down. Perry from the stretch. Roberts a righty, 2-4. He struck him out. So Perry makes short work of his opposite number. And here's Joe Morgan. Morgan 1 for 2. Came around to score the Astros' only run of the game so far. Perry from the stretch, a 3-8. And he loses him, ball 4. Morgan draws the walk. And he was good at that, wasn't he? Heath takes second. And Sonny Jackson will be the hitter. So Perry's had some traffic so far today. He's only given up the lone run from the stretch. Pitch to Jackson. That's going to be a 1-4. He pops him up. McCovey's calling for it. He's got it, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, 2 left on. Sorry, there was a hit. Well, that's going to be a problem when I cross it out that way, isn't it? I have to make that more readily apparent, more visible. No runs, a hit, 2 left on. There was a walk. So after 4 complete, it's still a 1-1 tie. Robin Roberts only an endurance of 5, so he's already into his first inning of possible fatigue, and he'll face the bottom of the San Francisco order, Brown, Davenport, and Perry, as we move along to the 5th inning. Oh, definitely. Yeah, Wynn and Morgan were both walking machines, as I used to call them. I'll get a little nicotine, a little tea, and we'll be ready to rock here in the 5th. Oh, that's good. That hits the spot. Okay, here's Ollie Brown. Roberts, the sign from Heath. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch to Ollie, a 5-6 fly ball to right field. That's going to be playable for Nicholson. He'll make the catch for the out, 1 down. Jim Davenport playing shortstop today. Let's check Davenport's numbers that year. He played quite a bit, 249, 302 on base, 9 home runs, and about a half a season worth of at-bats, so he has a little pop too. Roberts, the windup. The pitch to Jim is a 2-8. That's a grounder down to third base. That's going to be Aspromane. He's as sure-handed as they come down there, and he throws him out for the second out. And that'll bring up Perry. Perry singled his first time up. The windup, the pitch to Gaylord. That's a 6-9 to the righty. Triple to 6, and would you believe this? Gaylord Perry has a triple. Rips it down into the corner in right. Nicholson chasing it around. Perry's rounding second, going for third. Sliding in there ahead of the throw is Gaylord Perry with a triple. How about that? Holy cow, 2 down, but runner on third, and here's Lanier, 0 for 2. Lanier trying to pick him up now. Roberts, a glance at the runner, now from a full windup. The pitch to Hal Lanier is a 4-5. Grounder down to first base, that's going to be Gentile. Flips to Roberts covering, and that will do it. So they strand Perry at third. No runs, a hit, 1 left. And we've still got a 1-1 tie. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, it's the heart of the order for Houston. Wynn, Gentile, and Staub coming up. Okay, Wynn ready to go now. Standing in from the right side, Perry gets his sign. The windup. The pitch to Jimmy is 6-5. That's a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Davenport, a 3E31. Behind the bag, here's the play. On a 4, he's not going to get it. Knocks it down, but that's all he can do, and that'll be an infield single for Jimmy Wynn. So Wynn aboard, asterisk 15, but again, Perry's -3 hold, and Haller's 0 drops him to a 12, so they don't have to hold him on. Here's Gentile. Gentile 1 for 2, singled and struck out. Perry from the stretch. The pitch to Jim on a 1-8 struck him out. Holy cow, so that's twice. Perry has fanned Gentile. And that'll bring up Staub. Staub's 0 for 1. His sacrifice fly drove in the Astros only one of the contests so far. Perry from the stretch. The pitch to Rusty, a 1-7. Fly to center. That's going to be playable for Mays. Drifts over and makes it look easy as he puts it away for the second out. And here's Nicholson now. Nicholson 0 for 2. Perry from the stretch. Pitch to Dave is a 2-8, base hit into left field. That's an open single. Wynn can try to advance on that. Alou, however, is a -1 in left. 1 to 15. 2 outs, 17. To left field takes away 2, back to 15, and the -1 of 14. He'll stay put. They'll let Aspromane have a shot at it. So first and second, 2 down. Aspromane trying to pick up Wynn from second base. Perry from the stretch. The pitch to Bob on a 2-4. Fly to right field. That's going to be playable for Ollie Brown. He's got it, and that'll do it. No runs, 2 hits, a pair left on. After 5 complete, we've got a 1-1 tie. Wow, this is reminding me of the first game of the Twin Bill. Pitcher's duel. Roberts does not have a good card, but you'd never know it. I'm going to go to my computer game here for a second. So he must have got sent somewhere. Yeah, he was sold to the Cubs during the course of this season. I want to look at his card on my computer game. He's passable in the on-base department against righties, but a lot of damage, a lot of extra base hits, and very poor against lefties. Alou, Mays, and McCovey do for the Giants as we move along to the 6th. And welcome, Bob. Glad you could join us today. Yes, Bob, this is my first attempt at streaming ever. In fact, if you knew my lack of tech savvy, I'm not tech savvy, my lack of skills. If someone would have told me a year ago I'd be streaming, I would have laughed at them. But I've been searching for something to do in retirement, and I've played a lot of Windows and online Strat-O-Matic over the last 25 years. Before that, card and dice, of course. But I kind of got away from the card and dice due to the Windows game, and now I'm thinking it was a mistake. I'm enjoying the card and dice much more. So here we are, deadlocked at 1 as we move to the 6th. Alou to lead things off for San Francisco. Roberts hanging tough with Perry. The windup and the pitch is a 1-10. He pops him up. Aspermani calling. He's got it. 1 down. And here comes... Wait a minute. I'm getting these guys all out of whack here. Pitcher, Lanier... That's easy to do with newer cards. They have a tendency to stick together. Okay, here's Willie with 1 down. And thank you very much, Bob. I certainly do appreciate that. Here's Roberts with a pitch to Willie Mays on a 2-2. Fly ball to center and deep. Back goes Wynn to the track and finally does get there to make the catch for the out. So Mays gives the Houston's fan a bit of a scare. Houston fans, I should say, and here's Willie Mack. 2 for 2. His home run represents the only run of the Giants so far, also singled in the 2nd. Roberts, the sign from Heath. He's into the windup now. The pitch to Willie Mack on a 3-7, and he loses him. McCovey draws the walk. So a 2-out walk to McCovey, and Jim Ray Hart will be the hitter. Hart 2 for 2 as well, a pair of singles. Roberts from the stretch. The pitch to Hart on a 3-3. Fly ball to left field and deep. Stop going back just shy of the track makes the catch for the out. So another deep fly ball. And they're just getting under it a little bit. You just get the feeling that they're about ready to tee off on Roberts, but they can't quite do it. No runs, no hits, a man left. At the bottom of the 6th, it's still a 1-1 ball game. So Perry, the 21-game winner against Robin Roberts in what I believe was the final season of his career. I believe he would have been about 36 years old at this time. And I think 66 was his last year. I could be wrong. I'm just going from memory now. Oh, yeah, I could look it up. But I think it's pretty close. Enough to illustrate the point, let's say. Here's Heath to lead things off for Houston. Left-handed hitting catcher. Perry into the windup. The pitch to Heath, a 5-7. A grounder down to 2nd. Lanier, sure-handed Hal, throws him out. 1 down. And in the 6th inning, with an S5, sometimes I would consider pinch hitting for Roberts, but with the way these pitchers are dueling, I'm going to let it go. Roberts is going to bat. He's a switch hitter. Batting left against Gaylord on a 5-9. That's a single 1-8, double otherwise. So in this case, for Perry, it would have been better to roll the lower number, as the pitcher, of course, is a weak. But that's going to be a 1-out double for Robin Roberts. And what do you know about that? Let's look at it again. 5-9, left-handed, homer to 8. It's a double. In his case, it would be a single to 8. Double 9 to 20. And here's Joe Morgan. 1 for 2 with the walk. Perry, full windup now. Not worried about the runner. And on a 3-8, Morgan draws the walk, his second walk of the contest. And now the Astros have something going. First and second and 1 out. And here's Sonny Jackson with the toy cannon on deck. And now it's Perry who's the one who's in a jam. He gets his sign from Haller. Here's for the pitch from the stretch. To Sonny Jackson, a 1-6 base hit into right field. Roberts is going to come all around to score. And the Astros take a 2-1 lead on the RBI single by Sonny Jackson. And we've already seen Jackson's speed on display in the previous 2 ball games. So 2-1 game, Perry a -3. Heller a 0, of course. So Jackson a 16. He'll have to be held on, and he's still a 1-14. And with 1 out, that may be time to try something. No, not with Wynn at the plate. They're going to let Wynn bat. First and third, infield back. Jackson held on. Here's the pitch to Wynn. On a 4-5, struck him out. That's a huge out for Gaylord. And here's Gentile, runners at the corners and 2 down. Runner still held. Here's the pitch to Jim on a 5-5. Swung on and missed strike 3. And how about that? Oh my God, that was some fine clutch pitching by Gaylord. Runners at the corners with 1 down, and he strikes out Wynn and Gentile. But the Astros do take the lead. A run on 2 hits. That's not very clear here. I'm going to do that over so I can read it. An RBI single for Jackson. There we go. That's easier to read. 2-1 Astros as we move to the top of the 7th. And at this point, it would be wise to get someone throwing behind Roberts, and that's going to be Jim Owens, the righty. He'll begin loosening down in the pen as Roberts gets ready to face Tom Haller to lead things off in the 7th. The Giants are trailing by a run here. They've already lost the first 2 of this 4-game set to the Astros here in the Dome. They'd really like to get this one. And Roberts with the pitch to Haller. A 3-8. Grounder to short. That's going to be Jackson. He's got it and throws him out. 1 down. Ollie Brown will be the hitter now. 1, 2, 3, 6. Roberts has only allowed 6 hits. Here's the windup and the pitch to Brown. A 3-11. Base hit into right field. Ollie pokes it the other way, and he's got himself a 1-out single. Let's check his running. A non-asterisk, 13. No threat to steal. Decent runner, though, at a 1-14, and Jim Davenport steps to the plate. Davenport 0 for 2. Roberts from the stretch now. Pitch to Davenport on a 2-7, a fly to center field. That's going to be playable for Jim Wynn, however. He drifts over a bit and makes the catch for the out. And now they're trailing, and Gaylord Perry is the batter in the 7th. This is an absolute pinch-hitting situation, and I'm going to completely disregard it. Perry's going to bat. Pitch from Roberts, a 6-2, and he walks him. Ball 4. Perry draws the walk. First and second. One more hitter walk will fatigue Robin Roberts, and here's Hal Lanier. And welcome, James. And thank you. Yeah, I missed that. You're absolutely right. Usually I say the old hat trick there. Gentile does indeed have the hat trick. 3 Ks. To his credit, he did single his first time up, but still, 3 Ks is 3 Ks. Okay, here's Lanier now. Roberts from the stretch. He's on the verge of being knocked out, but he pops Lanier up, and Jackson's there to make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs a hit, they leave a pair. And it's still 2-1 Houston. And the Giants' offense has just been completely stymied here in Houston for this series. And this is a hell of a lineup, folks. Perry, who talked Herman Franks into letting him bat, rewarded his manager's confidence by drawing a walk, so he's still in the game. And he'll be facing Staub, Nicholson, and Aspromonte in the bottom of the 7th. And I gotta say it, Bob and everyone, one, I'm really enjoying this 1966 season. This is a frickin' great card set. A lot of these games have been, a vast majority in fact, have been very close games. And I really think the card set has a lot to do with that. If we were playing the 1999 replay, I don't think that would be the case. And the second thing is, I can't express enough how much I appreciate the support of everyone who has tuned in to watch these ball games. It's really been amazing. Here's Staub now as we move to the bottom of the 7th. Perry ready to work. It's the sign from Howler. The pitch to Staub on a 4-6 struck him out. And that's 3 strikeouts in a row for Perry. And you can see why he didn't want to come out of the game. In fact, he now has, let's look at that. 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 8 strikeouts for Gaylord. 3 of them Gentile, of course. And here's Nicholson. The pitch from Perry, it's a 4-7, struck him out. Man, we got a streak now. Perry has whiffed 4 straight. And Bob Aspromonte steps to the plate. And here's the pitch from Gaylord. On a 4-5, swung on and missed strike 3, and Perry whiffs the side, and he struck out 5 consecutive batters. Holy crap! How about that? What's the record? Anybody know? I remember somebody doing 6. That's probably been broken, I would think. Maybe not. So after 7 complete, it's Houston 2, San Francisco 1. Robin Roberts somehow is still in this game and leading 2-1. Owen's still throwing behind him. They're going to get a left-hander up since you have McCovey do this inning. I think they only have one lefty, though, don't they? Yes, Mike Cuellar. So Mike Cuellar, the lefty, is going to join Jim Owens in the Houston pen as we get ready to move on to the 8th inning here in a 2-1 ball game. Hi, James. I just saw your comment, and welcome, and thank you for that. Yes, Perry. You better believe it. He's keeping the wet side of the ball towards him. Top of the, Lanier batted. It's Alou, Mays, and McCovey for San Francisco in the 8th. Roberts ready to work now. He'll be on a short leash here in the 8th. 2 relievers are both ready to come into this ball game. The pitch to Alou is a 2-9. Base hit into right field, and Alou's aboard. And here comes Grady Hatton, and that's as far as he's going to go with Robin Roberts. Alou, good speed out there. Let's not forget about that. But Roberts, an S5 with a terrible card, goes 7+, a fine effort by Robin Roberts in the twilight of his career. He allowed 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits, only 1 run. Of course, Alou is his responsibility. He walked a pair. And he struck out one. Is that it? Yep, one. And they're going to go to Owens with the right-handed Mays coming up. Jim Owens will get the call. Remember, this Houston bullpen is pretty thin. In fact, their closer, the save leader, I should say, they didn't even call it a closer then. I've got to remind myself of that. Randy, 13 in a row for the unit. Well, I'm surprised I didn't know that. Oh yeah, Kurt, that was the screwballer, wasn't it? 6 in a row in the All-Star game in the 1930s, right? Oh God, what was that guy's name? Shit, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, he got Ruth and Hubble. Thank you, Carl Hubble. He got Ruth and a bunch of other awesome guys. Struck out 6 in a row. 34, 36, something like that. Okay, Alou is on. Owens a +2. Heath a +1. So that makes Alou an 18. Held on. He's a 1 through 16. They're going to let Mays hit away. From the stretch, the pitch to Willie Mays, a 6-7, a grounder to second X. That could be 2. It's Morgan, a 3E30. Here's the play. On a 2, Morgan can't get it. That's a single with a 2-base advance. Holy crap. That puts the tying run at third base on a single by Mays. Alou scoots into third. And the first thing that comes to my mind is a later day Joe Morgan would have been all over that. So now how is Houston going to play this? You've got McCovey. Hell, he's going right back to the pen. He's going to bring in Cuellar. That's exactly what you would do here. Here comes Cuellar, the left-hander. 227 innings. For some reason, he started the year in the bullpen. I will have to remind myself to look that up sometime, why that was. Anyway, it's 2-1 Houston, and this game's getting intense again. What else is new, right? 2-1 lead for Houston, top of the 8th, but the Giants have runners at the corners and nobody out. And here's Willie McCovey with Jim Ray Hart on deck, Tom Haller to follow. Cuellar brought on to face the left-handed McCovey. Mays not held. Cuellar a -3. Heath a +1. That's 2. Mays would be a 15 if he could get the lead, but he's got a very minuscule chance of getting the lead. McCovey's going to bat. The pitch from Cuellar to McCovey, a 4-11, and he walks him to load the bases. Oh my God, the sacks are full. No margin for error, and here's Jim Ray Hart. Houston leading 2-1, but it certainly feels very tentative, or what's not the word I want? Temporary. Hart stands in. A lot of this crowd on their feet now as Cuellar digging at the dirt, now toes the rubber. The sign from Heath, the pitch to Hart. It's a 4-3 to the right-hander. Base hit into left field. That's going to plate at least one. Alou will score. Left fielder is Staub, a -4. Mays a 17, -4, 13. He's coming. Here comes Mays. Here's Staub's throw, and Mays is in there, and the Giants take the lead. On a 2-run single by Hart. Holy cow, McCovey goes into third. Still nobody out, 3-2 Giants. Hart not a threat to steal. McCovey's at third. And here's Howler. Infield in. The Astros will have to pull the infield in. There's nobody out. The pitch to Howler on a 2-6 struck him out. And what a huge out that was for Cuellar. That's the first out of the inning. But now they can play the infield back and try to get a ground ball out of Ollie Brown. Brown 1 for 3. Cuellar from the stretch now. The pitch to Ollie Brown, a 3-7. It's a single to 17. That's a single one-base advancement. That's going to drive in McCovey. And it's 4-1. An RBI single from Ollie, downtown Brown. Hart will hold up at second. And Jim Davenport will be the batter. Still only one away. Here's the pitch to Jim. A 1-6 is a single to 5, but that liner is going to find the glove of Joe Morgan, and that's the second out of the inning. And here's Perry now, and now, once again, they're going to let Perry hit. Gaylord an S7, which kind of surprises me. I thought he'd be a 9 or at least an 8. He's a right-handed batter, a 3-hitting pitcher. Cuellar's delivery on a 1-4. Comebacker. Cuellar knocks it down, picks it up, throws to Gentile, and that will do it. But the Giants plate 3 big runs in the 8th on 4 hits. They leave a pair. And they take a 4-2 lead to the bottom of the 8th. And Gaylord's still in the game. And now he's in line to be the winning pitcher at this point. It'll be Heath, the pitcher's spot, and Morgan for Houston. Bill Heath steps in from the left side. Bill's 1 for 3 today as Perry goes into his windup. The pitch to Heath on a 2-4. Comebacker. Perry snags it. Over to McCovey, 1 down. And now we'll have a pinch hitter for Cuellar. So Cuellar worked an inning. He allowed 2 hits and a walk. He struck out 1. He allowed a run, 1 run charge to Owen, 2 charge to Roberts. And Houston's got to be running thin on relievers by this point. See, they used Zachary in the first game. Don Lee will be coming in. Actually, Lee and Raymond. Lee will join Claude Raymond, who was already throwing. If they were to take the lead, they'll go to Raymond. Now we'll have a pinch hitter. And that's going to be Lee May, who played in this game in real life. The perfect choice here, a left-handed hitter. Good hitter, too. May hit 280-something that year, 288. So it'll be Lee May against Perry with 1 down. The pitch to Lee May, a 4-6, struck him out. Oh, yeah, and Heath's tapper to the mound ended the strikeout streak of 5 in a row, but he struck out 6 of the last 7. Perry can smell it. And here's Joe Morgan. 2 down, nobody on. Perry set, now the windup. Pitch to little Joe on a 5-9. High fly ball to deep right field. Back goes Brown. It's gone. Home run Joe Morgan, and we got a 1-run ball game. Holy cow. 5-9. Homer to 8, and it's a 2. No, it's not, because Morgan's a weak. I beg your pardon. There I go, assuming again. I just assume Morgan. He's an N against lefties. But this was not the Joe Morgan he would become yet. So that's a base hit for Morgan. 5-9. Single to 8, double otherwise. So Morgan aboard, and Jackson will be the hitter. My apologies. Let me get everybody excited there. Morgan will not be held on. From the stretch, the pitch to Sonny, a 1-8, single to 2, but that liner is going to find the glove of Lanier, and that will retire the side. L4. No runs, a hit, 1 left, and after 8 complete, it is Giants 4, Astros 2. And as I said, Perry can smell it. So it will be Don Lee coming on. Lee, the right-hander. And top of the order for the Giants, Lanier, Alou, and Mays. I just want to check something here for a minute. We're ahead of schedule. In fact, I probably am going to have to use the restroom anyway before we go to the 9th. I was trying to make it. But at my age, you know, I don't have to say it. I was trying to see how old Hal Lanier was. Lanier would have been 23 this season. That's what I was thinking. This was very early in Lanier's career. Yeah, he was 23. The Say Hey Kid wasn't a kid anymore. He was 35, and Willie Mack was 28. And I'll be right back after I use the facilities. But hang with me, guys. This one isn't over. And we're back. This is also the first stream with the ring light. An idea that my niece gave me. I think we've got a clearer, more defined picture with the ring light. And welcome, Ron McGrath. Glad you could join us. You just walked in on a 4-2 ball game. The Astros led 2-1 after 6, but the Giants came roaring back with 3 in the 8th to take the lead. Now the Giants come to bat in the top of the 9th against Don Lee, who's just come on to pitch for the Astros. Lee, the sign from Heath, the windup, and the pitch to Lanier, a 6-6 to the righty, single to 15, but on a 16, that play is going to be made by Gentile, who takes it to the bag himself. Let's take another look. 6-6, single to 15, 16, grounder to first base, 1 down, and Jesus Alou will be the batter. Lee into the windup. The pitch to Alou is a 4-7 to the righty, and he walks him. So a 1-out walk to Jesus Alou, an asterisk 15. Lee a -2, Heath a +1, so that's 14. They're going to have to hold him on. That'll make him a 1 through 12, and Willie Mays will be the batter. Actually, they're not going to hold him on. And the Giants will not try to steal. The assumption here is that were he to steal, they just walk Mays anyway. Of course, McCovey's on deck, so they might not. Yeah, back and forth on that one. They're going to hold him on. They will hold him on. 1 to 12. From the stretch, the pitch to the Say Hey Kid is a 6-6, single to 15. And on a 15, it does just get past Gentile. Morgan to back it up. Alou will have to hold at second. Base hit by Willie Mays, who's 2 for 5 today now. Started off quietly, but he has hits in his last 2 at-bats. First and second, 1 down, and here's McCovey. McCovey has not been retired today. He singled, homered, and walked twice. And here's the pitch from Don Lee. On a 3-6, it's a single to 9. That is a 1-base advance single knocked down by Morgan. No play. Infield single will load the bases with 1 out. Alou to third, Mays to second. And now Lee's in a jam. Bases loaded, 1 down. They'll be at double play depth. They already trail by 2. They need a ground ball to get out of this. And Jim Ray Hart, who's 3 for 4 himself today, will be the batter. And here's the pitch from Lee. On a 4-10, struck him out. And what a big out that was for Lee and the Astros. The second out of the inning. 4-10 strikeout in between a lot of damage on Lee's card. And with 2 away, Tom Haller will be the batter. Lee, the full windup now. The pitch to Haller, a 5-9, swung on and missed strike 3 again amidst a lot of damage. Lee, living a charmed life here, gets out of this inning unscathed somehow and leaves the bases loaded. And the 2 runs will have to be enough as the Giants take a 4-2 lead to the bottom of the 9th. Perry's still out there. He's in S7. And, you know, I haven't even used Lindsay that much lately, so we're going to get Frank Lindsay warming loosely just in case. Perry in S7, and he's looking at the heart of the Houston order here in the bottom of the 9th. Wynn, Gentile, and Staub. Perry trying to go all the way, of course. And he's finishing with a flourish. He struck out 6 of the last 8 batters he's faced. And here's Wynn to lead things off. 2 for 3 with a walk. Perry into his windup. The pitch to the toy cannon, a 4-7, swung on and missed strike 3. Man, Perry's got that sinker, wink wink, working today, doesn't he? And here's Gentile now. Gentile 1 for 4. He struck out 3 times. Can he wear the golden sombrero? The pitch from Gaylord, a 3-12. Fly ball to right and deep. Back goes Brown, but he's got it on the track. And the Astros are down to their last out, and it'll be Rusty Staub. Staub 0 for 3 with a RBI sac fly, of course, in the 3rd. He struck out his last time against Gaylord. Perry leans in now to get his sign from Haller. Very deliberately now comes set. The windup, the pitch to Staub. A 3-6 single to 8. But it's speared by Lanier to end the ball game. Oh my God, let's look at that again. 3-6 single to 8, a 17 liner to second, caught by Hal Lanier. And a 1-2-3-9 for Gaylord Perry. He does indeed go all the way. He was almost pinch hit for in the 7th, but he talked his manager out of it. And he rewards his faith with a complete game victory. Two to 1. They took the lead in the 8th. Let me think about this now. I got to figure out who the losing pitcher was. Astros had it 2 to 1. The tying run was given up by Roberts. Owens gave up the go-ahead run, and he takes the loss. So the Giants, who dropped the first 2 games of this 4-game series to Houston, win one here in the Astrodome as the bats finally break out in the 8th inning. Lee in his inning, 2 hits and a walk, 2 Ks, no runs. So that leaves the Giants with 4 runs on 13 hits, no errors. Perry allowed 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits, 11 hits. He scattered them though, didn't he? He walked 2, 3, but he should have a pretty impressive K total. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 11, 12 strikeouts. Well, you can get away with giving up 11 hits when you strike out a dozen, especially if the strikeouts are the right key moments. So despite giving up 11 hits, a fine game by Gaylord Perry. A lot of hits in this game again. 24 hits and only 6 runs. Again, what a far cry it is from today's baseball. The Giants improved to 7-4. The Astros dropped to 5-7. Let's check the pitching records. For Perry, believe it or not, that's his first decision of the season. He goes to 1-0. For Owens, he has no decision. He does have a save. He drops to 0-1. And that's your final from the Astrodome, the second game of a doubleheader where the Giants edged the Astros 4-2 in dramatic fashion, riding the arm of Gaylord Perry. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you, everyone, for joining. Tomorrow I'll be back at my usual 2 p.m. slot. I had to go early today because of a doctor's appointment at 3. And tomorrow it will be the Chicago White Sox at the Kansas City Athletics. John Buzzhart for Chicago. And the very young pitcher known simply as the Catfish will be taking the mound for the Athletics. So that should be fun. In the meantime, I just want to thank everybody for joining me today and wish you all a very pleasant good evening. This is Steve Aquilong signing off. Take care, guys. This is a little harder to get out with the ring light. There's your final.